We are hearing Bhaktyaloka. Yesterday we started about the lowliam, fickleness of mind and desire and greed. This is also fault. And we heard that because of attachment to sense objects, one is having fickleness of heart and also fickleness of intelligence. But when one makes the sense objects favorable to devotion and senses by engaging them in the service of Krishna, then one can get a removal of fickleness of the intelligence. Thus, when fickleness of the intelligence is removed by the strength of intelligence, the heart can control attraction and repulsion for sense objects. The function of the mind, which judges positive and negative features of objects, is called intelligence. Like mind wants everything to enjoy, but intelligence will say no, drinking alcohol is not good for health. That is, intelligence will say. Or this food is good. But this is all in relation to material objects. So that is called intelligence. There are two types of intelligence. Vyavasayatmika and Bahushaka Samanvita. Vyavasayatmika intelligence is one type only. Bahushaka intelligence is of many types. The Gita says, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. Bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayina. Vyavasainam. In this process, resolute intelligence is fixed only on the Atma, O son of the Kurus. The intelligence of those who are irresolute has infinite objects of desire with many branches. Fixed on the one Atma means one Supreme Lord. And then it is steady. The only goal is to serve Krishna. But another intelligence is many faults, many goals for enjoyment. From many branched intelligence of the Avyavasai persons, those are unsteady, Avyavasai. That is means unsteady, arise calamities like lust, desire for going to Svarga, many special activities for attaining enjoyment and power, and not accepting the spiritual world. Therefore, Gita says, Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Pahrita Chetasam. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samado Navidhyate. For those people who are attached to enjoyment and power, whose consciousness has been deluded by their talk, intelligence fixed on Atma is not established in the mind. So it is not steady intelligence, because that intelligence fixed on Atma is not established in the mind. They don't have such. Vyavasayatmika buddhi samato navidiyate. They are not having resolute, one-pointed intelligence. The hearts of persons attached to enjoyment and power are stolen by their many-branched intelligence. Even for devotees, those who are not very serious devotees, they have faith in Krishna and they know he is to be served, but they are very much on material platform, and they want so many desires and also they want so many in the name of like facilities for devotion. They want like nice facilities, material facilities and relations and like this, because they think without this you cannot do devotion. That is also not pure devotion. Or I want svarga, I want this, I want so many things, because they think this is necessary in order to practice devotion. But that is not proper also. In the name of like having basis for devotion, they are having desires for material enjoyment, for material facilities, but it is not so. Then if those things are disturbed, they are not getting, then they also are not interested to practice devotion. Because they are so much still on material platform. So their intelligence is not one-pointed. That the goal is only service of Krishna. That is why that verse of Bhagavatam says, a devotee should have desire only for that basic survival and health, so that he can do devotional service, not more than that, not less than that. So there are many who want more material comfort and enjoyment in the name of that it is absolutely necessary for practicing devotion. Thus samadhi in Atma Tattva does not arise and their intelligence is not controlled. Those whose intelligence is fixed in samadhi are called sthita pragya and sthita dhi, that is fixed in intelligence. Their characteristic is as follows. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmana tushtah sthita pragya tadochyate. When a person gives up all lust situated in the mind and is satisfied in the Atma, by Atma, he is called sthita pragya. So no other desires. When anarthas are subdued, even these subtle anarthas, like in the name of wanting like comfortable facilities in order to practice devotion, that is also one anartha. It is subtle anartha. But one who who subdued anarthas and he reached the stage of nishta, then he is tolerant as a tree. In all circumstances, seeing them as grace of Krishna, he will go on doing bhajan, and he will not demand any kind of respect from anyone or demand anything from anyone, but he will give due respect to all, and in all circumstances he will give effort what is necessary for the upkeep of this body, but he will not be disturbed if he will not get, or he will be satisfied with whatever is there provided by the mercy of Krishna. And he will be always engaged in the service of Krishna in all circumstances. Because there is no other desire anymore, no lust. Dukheshu anudvigna manah sukeshu vigata sprihah vita raga bhaya krodha stita dhir munir uchate. The sage whose mind is not grieved by the appearance of suffering, who has given up all desire during opportunities for happiness, and who is devoid of attachment, fear, and anger, is called a stita dhi, fixed intelligence. See, he is not disturbed by suffering, material suffering. Also, he is not desiring for enjoyment when opportunity arises, like our Gurudev when he was in Hoshiarpur. Then in one temple he was invited to give Harikatha, so he spoke Harikatha, and the managers of that temple, they were so impressed with Gurudev that at the end, that president of the temple, he approached our Gurudev and told him, Swamiji, why you are making so much like trouble for yourself? Thing is, we request you, you remain in this temple. We will give you comfortable room. We will give you food. We will give you cloth. We will give you everything. You need nothing to do. Only you remain here, and once in a day you will speak Harikatha. Everything else we will provide. No need to bother about this begging and living in austere circumstances. Then Gurudev said to us, not to them, but to us, he said, a conditioned soul, he will think, oh, finally I got the result of my bhajan. Finally, Krishna is merciful. This is what I wanted. I wanted comfortable life. Now Krishna is giving, and just I will speak, so no botheration. We will think it like that. But Gurudev told them those, no, this is not the instruction of my Gurudev. My Gurudev told me I have to remain in the association of devotees, and also I have to go around to many places to get association of devotees, for begging devotion, for begging for necessities for the service of Krishna and for my life, like preaching, because Gurudev never thought I am preaching to others. He always saw it as they are my well-wishers. They are inviting me to some place and they are ordering me to speak Harikatha. They are helping me because then I will have to speak Harikatha. I will have to remember Krishna. Or Gurudev said, I was going from one place to another to get the association of devotees of that place so that I can get devotion. I should beg devotion from them like this. Outwardly, we see like Gurudev preaching everywhere. But his vision was like this. This is my devotional practice and they are helping me. So Gurudev told them, no, that is not the instruction of my Gurudev. Instruction of my Gurudev is this. I have to remain in association of devotees and beg for my livelihood. So he refused, he rejected that. Why? Because it was not, this is one kind of this subtle anartha. Desire for comfortable living and because that is necessary, so-called necessary for me to do devotion. But those who are, here it is stated here, those who are sincere and they have fixed intelligence, they are not disturbed if some suffering circumstances come, and they are not catching that opportunities for worldly happiness. They are not after that. You will find in Madhurya Kadambini, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining these stages of devotion. First Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, then Guru Padashray, then Diksha and Bhajana Kriya. So then in Bhajana Kriya, there is steady Bhajana Kriya and unsteady. Unsteady is when anarthas are present. So there in that chapter, it is mentioned that there are 6 kinds of unsteady bhajana kriyas, and one of them is the last one, tarangarangini, to enjoy, to desire, and also to enjoy the facilities given by devotion itself. To a practitioner of devotion like this, someone will give garland, money, respect, all this or this, we will provide everything. You need not worry anything. So someone who enjoys these facilities given by devotion, that is also one kind of anartha, and it is in unsteady devotion. Only when one will give up this, he will come to the stage of nishta, steady. You can find there. It is very clearly described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So they will not grab like Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. So many people offered him so many things. He never accepted anything for himself. He would accept and offer for the service of Krishna, but never for his own comfort. The toleration of the urges of voice, mind, and anger mentioned in the first verse of Upadeshamrita are made clear in the 2 verses from Gita. Here it should be understood that there are 2 types of intelligence. that function which follows mind and determines what is good or bad is one type, the material intelligence. As I told before, like what is good for health or for my taste. The intelligence which follows the Atma and determines what is good and bad for Atma is the other type, the spiritual intelligence. Thus Gita says, Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhya param mana. Manasastu parabuddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. It is said that the senses are supreme, but superior to the senses is the mind. Superior to the mind is the intelligence. What is superior to the intelligence is the Atma. Here, senses are supreme, means they are superior to sense objects. And superior to senses is the mind. Superior to the mind is intelligence. But superior to intelligence is Atma. Here it is explained further by Bhaktyaloka. But you will find in that Upanishad, I forgot now, maybe in Katha Upanishad, I was reading. In one place, it is stated that sense objects are more important. But I could not understand why so. And then further all saying, but sense objects are more important than the senses. Then I could not understand, but in the commentary it is written, for one who is practicing spiritual practice, it is most important that he controls the sense objects. Then he can control other things also. That is why they are most important to be controlled. Here it says the senses are superior to sense objects. The mind is superior to the senses since the senses perform actions on the strength of the chitta function of the mind. Intelligence is superior to the mind. This intelligence is a function of the Atma. Thus, it is the controller or master of the mind. The intelligence becoming dependent on the material ahankar, false ego, accepts materialism in a distorted way. When intelligence is dependent on the jiva's pure ahankar, means pure ego, in the form of being the servant of Krishna, it is always pure by nature, such intelligence, because the goal of such intelligence will always be only service of Krishna. Means intelligence will always encourage this goal, that this is good and not serving Krishna is bad. But that is spiritual intelligence. But material intelligence will only calculate what is good and bad in the material, what is good for health or for taste. Thus, in the Vedas, the knower of the field is described as the knower or bodha. The spiritual particle, the jiva, is superior to the intelligence, which is only a function of the jiva. Intelligence is function of jiva. Without jiva, there is no intelligence possible. but it can be pure or polluted. When Jiva is averse to Krishna and is under the influence of false ego, then that intelligence is polluted, only in relation to matter. It will decide what is good, what is bad. But purified intelligence, pure intelligence will say, to serve Krishna is good, to not serve him is bad. That is why Bhaktyaloka Thakur, there in third verse of Shikastaka, he said that when one becomes awakened soul, how he will think. He will regret, why I spent so much time in this worldly enjoyment that was not good. I have to give up that, I have to serve Krishna. How that spiritual intelligence is gradually awakened. Also in Kalyana Kalpataru songbook, there also it is in many ways how awakened soul will start to intelligently think. It will change his action. When the jiva can understand that it is a pure spiritual particle, chit kona, its spiritual ahankar, that is ego or identity, as Krishna's servant naturally manifests. At that time, the intelligence in this swarup of its pure function rejects matter and establishes the spiritual substance. Yes. Examples you can find there in third verse and Kalyanka, maybe some other place also. Very beautifully Bhaktyaloka Thakur is explaining. Why? Because he's realized the soul. We cannot imagine that, it is beyond our imagination. But one who is really awakened, he can tell, yes, this is how Jiva will think. So at that time, when Jiva is awakened, no desire remains except the desire to be Krishna's servant, and material lust is regarded as insignificant and is completely rejected. In this state, the jiva is known by the term sthita pragya and sthita dhi. At that time, the intelligence, becoming strong by spiritual strength, becomes steady, and regulating mind and heart puts them under its control. On the order of the intelligence, the heart at that time regulates all the senses, bringing them under control, and spreads the notion of favorability as Krishna's servant to all the sense objects. Yes. We heard that it makes all sense objects favorable for the service of Krishna. On the path of bhakti, this is called controlling the senses. The control of the senses on the path of dry jnana and vairagya is not sense control in a fine form. Gita says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasa varjam rasopyasya param drishto nivartate. One who refrains from eating also stops experiencing of the sense objects, but his desire for sense objects remains. Having seen the Atma, however, one can stop the desire as well. Dry renunciation means only you don't enjoy the sense objects and you keep your senses quiet. But in the mind there is desire to enjoy. That is not removed by such vairagya. Our Gurudev said that brahmacharis, they will fast on Ekadashi, not eat, but that does not mean that desire for eating is gone, because you will see them next day they will eat double, and already during night time on Ekadashi they will cut vegetables so that in the morning very quickly they can cook for breakfast. So only restraining the senses does not remove desire to enjoy. But when one gets higher taste, like seeing the Atma, here it refers to Paramatma, Bhagavan, then one will not have desire to enjoy these sense objects, but he will offer everything for the service of Krishna and take that prasad, that is devotion. The possessor of the body who renounces enjoyment can stop the sense objects, but the desire for the objects remains. But if one mixes the sense object with the spiritual rasa of being Krishna's servant, which is superior to material rasa, that spiritual rasa can uproot the insignificant rasa of desire for material objects. This is real sense control. Making the senses spiritual, keeping them under the control of the heart, and making the heart spiritual, one keeps it under control of the intelligence. Taking support of this method, one can remove the lolya, that is greed for material objects, in the form of fickleness of intelligence and heart. With fickleness of intelligence, the mind is not steady. The fickle intelligence sometimes wanders to the path of karma, to the path of yoga, to the path of dry renunciation, and to the path of dry jnana. To make the intelligence give up fickleness and become fixed on bhakti, Bhagavatam says. So if one awakens his real self, then spiritual intelligence will be there, and spiritual intelligence will control the mind or heart, and that will control the senses, that they will be engaged in the service of Krishna, using all sense objects for the service of Krishna. So then there is no lolyam, greed, or restlessness, fickleness. But if someone does not have that one-pointed spiritual intelligence, then his intelligence is fickle and is having so many other goals, karma, gyan, all this. But Bhagavatam says, Yat karma bir yat tapasa jnana vairagya tascha yat yogena dana dharmena shreyo bir itarer api sarva mad bhakti yogena mad bhakto labaten jasa Svarga pavarga mad dhama katanchit yadi vanchate. As long as we have anarthas, we cannot understand this verse and we cannot approve of it. This verse says, everything that can be achieved by karma, penance, jnana, vairagya, mystic yoga, charity, dharma, and all other auspicious means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through bhakti. If somehow or other my devotee desires svarga, liberation, or residence in my abode, he easily achieves such benediction. Nakinchit sadhavo dhira bhakta hekanti no mama vanchanti api maya datam kaivalam apunar bhavam. But intelligent devotees, completely dedicated to me alone, do not desire liberation, even if I offer it to them, or svarga or anything. Today, one devotee asked me, he read one article by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, where Prabhupada is saying that to please Krishna, that is spiritual or religious, but any action like for the satisfaction of self, that is called the sin. Then the devotee asked me, so is like performing pious activities, like helping others, is it also sin? He asked me. Then I said yes. From absolute standpoint, Jiva is eternal servant of Krishna. Her duty is to serve Krishna, and by serving Krishna, she is doing proper beneficial action for everyone. Like watering at the root of tree. Whole tree is properly nourished. But if you separately water twigs, then you are, without watering at the root of tree, then you are actually harming that twig. You are actually harming that twig without watering at the root, thinking I'm doing good by giving water directly. Then I told him, because it was in relation to Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada was telling this is the teaching of Gita. Then I told him, you have to see that Krishna told to Arjuna at the end, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. You give up all dharmas. He did not say you give up adharmas. He said you give up all dharmas. Dharmas is good, duties, but Krishna is telling you give up all dharmas. So what is the meaning? Krishna wanted Arjuna to practice devotion, not those things. Those things also are to be given up. They are that is separate. So that is also a kind of sin from the spiritual platform of Jiva's constitutional position. That is also sin. Pious activities are sinful, because that is not watering at the root of tree. Then he understood. He said, oh, this is new for me. I said, this is the basic of devotion. Without such belief that only by serving Krishna all are properly served, and without serving Krishna no one can be served, devotion cannot start actually. Because for devotion, qualification is this, Shraddha. First is Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, like this. So Shraddha, I asked him, what is the definition of Shraddha? He could not answer clearly. Like faith in something sublime and like, no. I told him definition of Shraddha, which is qualification for devotion. That is given by Mahaprabhu in this word, Shrabda, Shabda, Vishwas Kohe, Siddharida Nishchoy, Krishna Bhakti, Koile, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. That is, Shraddha means firm faith that by serving Krishna one serves all. And Mahaprabhu then gives to Sanatana Goswami that verse of Bhagavatam. By watering at the root of tree, whole tree is nourished. By giving food to the stomach, whole body is nourished. So if someone does not have such faith in Krishna, that he is the root of everything, by serving him, all is properly done. Without serving him, you cannot do anything good. Without such exclusive faith, one is not eligible for devotion, actually. Cannot practice devotion. So here also, these devotees, they do not want anything, to do anything or to attain anything. They only want service of Krishna. You have example that Vritrasur, demon, he was in demon body, but he was pure devotee, because Chitraketu Maharaj before. So Bhagavan offered him, you want Svarga? No. You want yoga siddhis? No. You want Sarvoma, that you will be ruler of this world? You want netherworld's enjoyment in that? You want liberation? You want Dhruvaloka? Everything he offered to him. But Vritasur said, no, I don't want anything. Without engaging in your service, I don't want anything. That is proper faith. Liberation, everything they will reject. According to my karma, what I may get, I will accept that. That is no problem. Only I want your service. That is the only thing I want. And there he also, Vritrasur also told to Indra, you kill me. Why you are thinking? You are afraid you will lose Svarga. That is why you don't want to attack me, because you think I will attack you back, and also you are thinking, because I'm a devotee, Krishna will give me Svarga. So you are hesitating to kill me. Then Vritasur said, you don't worry about this. Krishna will not give me Svarga. He will give Svarga to you, not to me. I am a devotee and you are also a devotee, but you are devotee of Krishna to get Svarga. But I don't want Svarga. I am one-pointed devotee of Krishna. So even if I would request Krishna to give me Svarga, he will, out of compassion, he will not give me that Svarga. Because that will cause anxiety and so many problems. That is why you kill me, you don't hesitate. Krishna will not give me Svarga even if I will want it. So such pure devotion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to awaken in us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not come for any other thing. In his teaching it is there, Nadhanam Najanam, I don't want anything. I only want causeless devotion. That is the teaching of Mahaprabhu. There is no other targets, even subtle targets of, yeah, I will be devotee, but comfortable and with worldly enjoyment and like this. This kind of devotion Mahaprabhu did not come to give, because that cannot fulfill us. That will keep us in anxiety and disturbance. Mahaprabhu wants to awaken within us pure devotion. Then we can actually be really happy. Whatever is to be attained by kamya, nitya, and naimitic karmas, that is, with some desire. Nitya means daily karmas, and naimitic is occasional, like Shraddha ceremony, charity on certain days, like this. So these three types of karmas. Whatever is to be gained by extreme vratas in Ashtanga yoga and by atonements, whatever arises by Brahma Gyan that impersonal liberation, and renunciation of the world, whatever fruits one is allotted by karma yoga, jnana yoga, etc., what one aspires for by charity works or auspicious actions, is all easily attained by the devotee by performance of pure bhakti yoga. Automatically, one will get everything. Like in that Chandogya Upanishad. No, Taittiriya Upanishad. The happiness one healthy man in this world has, 100 means very like king, healthy. That happiness multiplied by 100 times will be had by one, like I think first that Gandharva or someone, I don't know, but 100 times more happiness one will get, and liberated soul will also get. And then again it is written, then if one becomes Indra, it will be multiplied by 100 times, and then like this, and every time it is mentioned, and liberated soul will also get. Why? Because in the devotee, liberated soul, actually liberated soul, all happiness is there. What is on all lower platforms, that is already included. Like in 1,000 euros, 10 euros is also is already included. Happiness of having 10 euros. Or happiness of 50 euros is already included. Happiness of 200 euros also included. So devotee will achieve everything. He will not be loser. But he does not desire any those things separately. He only wants service of Krishna, and by that he is getting whatever is required by him for the sustenance of this material body, and he is getting all mystical powers also, all his liberated soul, even while living in this world, everything he is automatically getting without desiring it separately. Yes, only this one paragraph I will read, because then this point is concluded. Attainment of enjoyment by Svarga, no, attainment of enjoyment of Svarga, that is heavenly planets, by karma, attainment of liberation by jnana and vairagya, going to higher planets by dry worship and vratas on the path of karma, manifest with great difficulty through those methods. If the devotees desire, easily all these results are attained with great happiness. But the pure devotees do not desire merging and liberation given by me. They naturally prefer the happiness of serving the Lord. Considering all this, the sadhaka gives up lowliya in the form of fickleness and attains intelligence fixed in bhakti, or greed he will give up, because he will know, by serving Krishna I will get highest benefit. He will not separately desire all these things. Then tomorrow is Ekadashi. We will hear further explanation of this lowliya in the sense of greed. This is also obstacle.